Well, Dad, I've decided to let everybody get to know you a little bit more. We all know you as an amazing father and an amazing grandpa, papa. Everybody thinks you're wonderful, and nobody ever really seems to ask you where you come from and a little bit about you and who you are. You know, we all love you very much, and we sometimes don't take the time to actually stop and just actually ask you questions about where you're from and who you are. So what I want to do, Dad, is just do a little get to know you. And this is going to be for Christmas 2015, and everybody's going to get a copy of this, and we're all going to know who you are. So, you ready?
Yep, I'm all here.
All right. Good. It's the best time to be asking questions is when you're all here.
Yep.
So, first question I want to ask you is, we're going to start when you were little. What comes to mind when you think about growing up in Moncton?
Oh, always having lots of brothers and sisters around and playing lots of games and being outside. Not like it is now where a lot of people are inside. We're outside all the time. We're playing games and playing sports.
Okay. So what did you love to do as a kid, before high school, like as a kid?
Before high school,
Yeah, before high school.
well, we used to have a lot of parties and stuff, birthday parties, because I had a lot of friends and we did a lot of visiting. And as again, we played a lot of sports and stuff because we were always outside.
Nice. So what did you love to do when you were in high school? What was your favorite stuff to do?
Oh, again, it was in playing sports at noon. I would never go home for hardly any of my meals. I would stay at school to play sports, volleyball, basketball, floor hockey, things like that. I loved it,
Yeah. Well, you've always been very sports oriented, right?
always.
Yeah. So what do you remember the most about your teenage years?
Well, in my teenage years, I did a lot of odd jobs. I delivered groceries on a bicycle, which in those days was quite the thing because you had a big parcel carrier and a bike, and you'd go and deliver them to apartment buildings. You'd have to go up about no elevators in those days, so you walk up about half a dozen flights of stairs and deliver the groceries and go back and go out again for some more.
That sounds crazy.
But then at 16, I joined the militia, and I loved it. I was from 16 to 21, I was in the militia.
What'd you do in the militia?
I did motor mechanics and repairs of trucks, jeeps, tanks. Did a lot of heavy equipment.
Which is why you've always been able to fix a lot of the stuff around the house.
Yeah.
Nice. This is an important one that I really want to know is, what do you remember the most about your mom?
My mom, a real giving person. She had time for everyone. I mean, she treated everyone the same, and everyone got the same amount of time. There was never really a favorite, even though we always thought there might have been one or two favorites, but she gave everybody the same time. Very thoughtful and giving.
And that's
And
not
a
easy.
fantastic cook.
And that's not easy to do when you've got that many kids.
No, there was quite a few in the family.
Yeah. Now, what do you think was most important to her?
Love. Love was very important to my mom. She loved everyone, and she let everybody know, too, how much she cared about everyone all the time. And she was quite a religious, not to the extent that she would go out and teach it. Everything was done in a way that we knew where everything was in our hearts with God and stuff like that. So my mother read the Bible every night, and we found out after she passed away that she had read the Bible since there was 13 kids in the family. She had read the Bible 13 times completely through. So I don't have to read it because she's done it for me.
Well, that's pretty amazing. What do you remember the most about your dad, about Grandpa?
My dad was a hard worker. He worked for the railway. He was an engineer. and he worked mostly afternoon shift. So when he had a day off, it was with the kids. You take us for trips in the car. Weekends were really a good time with our dad, because he would take us on Sunday drives. We would drive every back road in the province of New Brunswick.
Yeah, and you like doing that, just going
Oh,
for the
I loved it.
drives?
Yeah, and he knew where every apple tree was, apple orchard. Even the ones in the forest, we knew where the apple trees were. He knew where they were. But he used to take us for all these rides. Put all the kids in the car, and about 5 or 6 kids, and away we go.
You drove a big old car.
Me?
No, he did.
Oh, yes, he always had big cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think was most important to Grandpa?
Important to him?
Yeah. What was important to your dad?
That we enjoyed life as a kid, and he taught us a lot about cars, respect for each other, and that was pretty well it. That in sports, he was he would support me, especially because I was involved in a lot of the sports compared to my other brothers. That I was in sports all the time, and he was there for me to watch me play ball and a little bit of hockey and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, if Grandma and Grandpa had a message to you and their grandchildren, us, what do you think it would be? What do you think their message would be to us, to you?
Take every day and enjoy it. Just leave an imprint that people will know that you've done something nice to them, and that was one of the things they wanted. Enjoy life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. So here's a funny one. How did you meet Mom, and how did you know that she was the one?
Oh, that's that's a good question, Kevin. I met your mother on a blind date. I wasn't going to go because I told the person that was living in the small little apartment complex that I was in, it was downstairs in the basement of a house
What city?
in Toronto,
Yeah,
Mimical,
yeah.
and he had a date for a certain weekend, and his girlfriend's friend, which would be your mama, needed a date for that night, and I said no, I'll pick my own dates. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. And then this was about 3 months before I even met her, and before we went out. So finally, he kept bugging me and asked me to go, and I said, okay, I'll do it. And he was quite happy about it. So we went to her grandfather's house in the Jane and Bloor area.
This is McDougall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I saw her, she was walking down the stairs at her grandfather's house, and I went, wow, this is better than I expected. So I went out with her that night. We went to a movie. I remember the movie quite well. It was To Kill a Mockingbird with Gregory Peck. And
You saw it when it came out.
I saw it when it came out.
Yeah.
Now it's a classic. But I had so much fun that night, and I just felt like this is the most fun I've had since I came to Ontario. And I just looked at her and I went, wow, she's the one for me. And my sisters and brothers would always say, yeah, that's the way he was with every girl. But no, this one was different completely. I mean, I just fell. That was it. And I could hardly wait to see her again. But we had a wonderful time. We drove around in the car and went out for a couple cold pops after, and we had a great time. Had a real good time. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So how did you choose your career, and what was your favorite part about it?
Well, my career at that time is I had a job waiting for me in Toronto with the Railway Police, CN Police Department, Investigation Department. And I had a choice of either going to Montreal or Toronto. And then I remember what my grandmother said to me, because she was always coming out with these sayings. And one of her sayings was, if you ever want to get ahead in life, John, get away from your family, your friends, and start life anew. And that's what I did. I figured, well, I like Montreal Canadiens, so but hey, listen, I've been going to go to further away. I took Toronto, and it was the best move I ever made, because I would never have met your mother.
What do you think made you successful at work?
Well, I was only with the investigation department for 7 years, and then I started working at Continental Can of Canada. I was only out of work for about 2 weeks. But there I learned the respect of the people I worked with by being a hard worker, treated them with respect, and I got respect back by just by the way I talked to them. It was never do this, do that. It was always, would you mind doing this? Would you mind doing that? And the response was 100% better. I had more work done on my lines when I was working than a lot of the other production fellows.
Yeah, so you're more of a team. You're more of a leader than you were a boss. You were more involved.
I was never a
Lead by
I was
do.
never a follower. I like to instruct and show them the easiest way to do things, and it worked out quite well. We set many records on our production lines.
So what did you believe about yourself that helped you become successful and deal with hard times?
Well, everybody goes through hard times.
Yeah.
Everybody. So you just have to go with it, make the best of what you have at the time, and it all works out. There's a reason for everything, so it works itself out.
Yeah.
You may think it's bad, but at the end it turns out to be good. So just go with the flow, and it'll work out.
So what times in your life do you think truly tested your mettle? And what did you learn about yourself by dealing or not dealing with them?
With what?
What times in your life truly tested your mettle? What really tested you in your life? What's been a big challenge in your life? Or you don't have to say what the challenge was, but how'd you overcome it? What really tested you in life?
As I said, you just work through it, and it all ends up good.
Yeah. Okay. So what 3 events would you say most shaped your life?
Well, as I started off as just being a kid, showing love and give love. Give respect, and then you get respect. And then you have your faith and live with your faith.
So what do you remember about when each of us was born? What do you remember about all of us being born?
Oh,
What stands out?
everything was different. Every person, every baby was different when they were born. There was
Well, go down the line. What was it like when Kim was born?
Kim had a rough time when she was born. She we didn't even know how her health was not that great, and she was in an incubator for quite a while. And I remember your mother coming home from the hospital, and I had to go down to the hospital and pick up the incubator and take her to Sick Kids Hospital
You had to pick up the incubator and take it?
in my car, along with the nurse.
With Kim in it?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Wow. And how'd you get through that?
And then she had diarrhea, and she was vomiting. What do you call it? Gastro something.
Gastrointestinal?
Yeah, and she
She had a tough go.
turned out okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Karen?
Karen was born again. Well, both of them, Kim and Karen, were both born at St. Joseph Hospital in Toronto. And I remember Karen. Of course I did. I'm their dad, so. But cute kid. Real cute kid.
Mm-hmm. And
all my kids were cute.
What about Krista?
Krista was born at in Aurelia. Soldiers Memorial.
Yeah.
And I remember her coming home to Hawkstone, and she was a great kid. Loved to laugh.
Yeah. Kid. And what do you remember about me being born?
Well, you were going to be the last no matter what, because we had 3 girls, and I said, okay, if this is a girl, we're going to adopt. As you can see, we didn't adopt. The doctor said when your mother was having you, believe it or not, I went across the street and had my supper, and then I came back, and the doctor was walking down the hallway, and I went like this, and he come up to me, he says, "Oh," he says, "is the boy all right?" So, yeah, I was quite happy. And when I went to see you, I couldn't believe how big you were. You were quite a big boy. So, yeah.
Were you ever scared to be a dad?
No, never scared. I thrived on being a father. I loved to change the diapers and feed the kids. That was, got right in there. Hey, you got soap and water, so what the heck?
What 3 words would you say represented your approach to parenting?
Just be calm, cool, and collected. And sometimes I wasn't any of those, but I think I did okay. I got 4 wonderful kids.
Well, I know when you did lose your temper, it was quick, because you came back pretty quick to calming down.
Oh, yeah, but sometimes I had a short fuse, so.
Well, I think anybody does, especially as a parent. I think we've all learned that. It's tough. So when you think about Kim, how would you describe her now?
Now?
Yeah. When you think about her life, and her now, what do you think? What makes you think?
Well, Kim's more of a person who likes to be free. By that I mean she wants to do her own thing. She's doing what she wants now. She's living where she wants. She's having a great time. God bless her. She's up where she wants to be, and she does her own things. Like she makes her own soap, and fantastic cook like your mother. So she's a wonderful girl.
Nice. So, what message do you have for Kim that you will always want her to keep in mind?
Oh, that I love her a lot. That she'll always be my little girl. Always. Even though she's 51, but she still will always be my little girl.
So when you think about Karen, how would you describe her?
One that she liked sports, enjoyed it, and wasn't afraid to try anything. And then she became pretty good at volleyball and ball. But yeah, she was one of the sport ones in the family.
Bit of an academic.
And academic. She was very smart now, because she's a professor at Georgian College, so she's done well for herself.
Yeah, for sure.
And Krista, now you're going to ask me about Krista. So.
I'm getting there. Well, wait. I want to ask you, what message do you have for Karen that you want her to always keep in mind?
Enjoy life. Don't take everything as so serious. Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. So, when you think about Krista, how would you describe her?
Krista's always been the happy one. always happy. And I remember when she was playing sports too. She was a fantastic ball player, really good ball player. Not afraid of anything. I remember the time that they had a pitching machine in the gym, and they let one go as fast as it would go, and it was no problem to her to catch it or to hit it. Good sport. But she was really happy all the time.
Yeah. So what message do you have for Krista that you want her to always keep in mind?
Well, I really don't know what to say, but she's following in your mother's footsteps on a lot of the things that she does in the auction business, and just enjoy what you're doing, and
Yeah. Okay, then when you think about Mom, how would you describe her?
your mom? Oh, heart of gold.
Yeah.
She's got a heart of gold. Always caring for everybody else. More for everybody else than herself. She's a very caring person.
Mm-hmm.
She's got time for everyone and gives time to everyone. And when it comes to making meals, there's not a better cook. I mean, she's fantastic. She's taught everyone in the family how to cook, and great person, but very giving.
So what message do you have for Mom that you want her to always keep in mind?
Oh, that I love her to pieces. And
We know that.
yeah, she's a fantastic wife for me, and I'm so fortunate. So fortunate.
Yeah, we all are. We all are, for both of you. So what 3 words would you say best describe who you tried to be in life and how you want to be remembered?
Well, I can only be myself, but I want to be remembered as somebody that, even though sometimes you don't think I'm a kind person, that I am a kind person, that I'm a giving person. And I was always there for everyone.
Yep. Always.
Always there for the family.
Yeah. We know that too. So what have you learned about other people in life?
Other people, or
Yeah, just people in general. What have you learned about other people? Trustworthiness and things like that.
well, I've always been very fortunate that I've been able to read people right away what they're like. And in general, I would say 90% of the people are great people. A lot of people are misread. People misread a lot of people. They're saying, oh, he's not a very nice person. Well, if you look inside of the person, he is a nice person. So that's what I have to say about other people. Look for the good things. Don't go looking for the bad things. There's more good than bad.
Yeah, there really is. So what do you think the world needs more of right now?
Well, just be themselves, enjoy life, and give what you can financially of yourself. Just be happy, make other people happy.
Yeah.
Don't put on airs, because people know what you're really like.
So you think people just need to be a lot more honest,
Oh yes.
a lot more themselves? What do you believe people want the most in life?
Well, actually, a lot of people want to be debt free. Who doesn't want that? But they just want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy and loved.
Yeah, I agree. What were the 3 best decisions you've ever made? Don't say Kim, Karen, and Krista.
The best decision I ever made is coming to Ontario, meeting your mom, and then having 4 wonderful kids and 7 great, great, great grandchildren. They're fantastic, every one of them. So
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate.
They all love you.
I'm very, very fortunate.
Yeah. What are you most proud of in life?
Well, that's a difficult question because I'm proud of my kids. What have I accomplished in life? I'm a very happy person inside. Very happy.
Well, we're all very proud of you. You know, sometimes I think about the fact that you still got your toolbox from when you worked in the factory.
Yeah.
And when they offered new work boots, and they were supposed to get you guys new work boots, you just felt that if your work boots weren't beat up, you didn't take advantage of it and get new boots. You got boots when you needed them, not because they were being offered. And
those toolboxes are older than my kids.
Yeah, those toolboxes are real old. So sometimes I just think about those things too. I'm proud of you for not taking advantage of anything. What were the 3 of the most positive moments of your life?
Well, when I saw how my kids turned out, that's when I was very, very proud of everyone, how they turned out, giving, and they were willing to share, and if they're asked upon, they're willing to go and help.
Mm-hmm. Give me another one of your most positive moments of your life. What else has been really positive in your life? Or turned out to be?
Well, in my life,
Yeah.
I was so happy to see that some of the things that you fellows have accomplished and what you've done with your lives, and especially your mom, some of the wonderful things that she has accomplished and done by being so giving.
Yeah. Do you have anything that when you think back, any awards or medals or anything you ever got a big congratulations for, whether it was umpiring or in high school, is there ever anything that you think back to and you just think, wow, I'm so proud of that?
Well, actually, one of the things that I did when I was in the militia, I became a member of a rifle team, and we used to compete against other militias across Canada. And I remember the first one I went into, there was about 200 militias, and we came in 5th across Canada. But we made our mind up that we were better than 5th. And the following year, we were number 1 in Canada. And on our rifle squad, I was number 1 on the squad. So I was quite pleased with that we could.
What'd you have to shoot?
We shot the 303 rifles, 1,200 yards.
Yeah.
And I had some very high scores. I really was quite pleased with that, and I had a wonderful time. And then when they came out with the new rifle, the FN Belgium rifle, we were the first squad in Canada to have it. And it was just like they said, it was the most accurate rifle in the world at that time. And I had the pleasure of firing that one. And then I fired Sten guns. And one time we were out in the tank, and somebody fired off a dummy round or a blank, but they had to check us after to make sure we were okay, that nobody had a heart attack, because it sure make one heck of a noise.
Yeah. That's pretty neat.
But that was one of the things I accomplished, and I like sports. I like sports a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I played a lot of softball, baseball. I played for baseball down east, and I played softball up here. Not as good as I thought it was going to be, but Not like your mom. Your mother's a fantastic ball player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She surprised everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah. So, what message would you like to share with your family? Because everybody's going to be watching this, and one day the kids and the grandkids will all be watching it, and they're going to review it and rewatch it. Because we all love you. We want to know,
Well, that's
what message have you got to share with the family?
what I would like to tell the whole family is how much I really love them, and how much they mean to me, and how happy they have made me. And I've been very blessed to have a wonderful, wonderful family, and great, great grandchildren, fantastic grandchildren. I'm so proud of them all.
It's my last question. What are you most thankful for?
Well, actually, I'm thankful I'm still alive at my age.
You're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Pardon me?
You're not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, I never even thought about how old I was going to be. I figured when I was just a young kid, if I hit 60, I'd be happy. But hey, listen, I feel great, and I'm enjoying life. And if it wasn't for my grandchildren, they have made me. I don't have time to get old. They keep me young and they keep me going. And I'm so fortunate to have such great grandchildren.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, from Kim and Karen and Krista and me and Taylor and Zach and Adam and Maggie and Jackson, Charlie and Riley, we all love you. And we couldn't ask for a better
I
dad.
love them a lot too.
Great Papa. So thank you for letting us get to know you. We love you.
And I love you too, Kevin.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dad.
Okay.
All right, so we're back, and we're going to ask you this one question because oddly enough, I didn't want to ask a question about me, but what do you remember the most about me, and what message would you say that you've got for me?
Well, when you were growing up, the easiest word would be hellion, because you really like to be a disturber. You had a great sense of humor. You loved sports, which I was very proud that you played sport. Soccer. I just wish you had played softball a little bit more, but because you were a fantastic ball player. You could hit the ball a mile. It was fantastic. And but soccer, you loved soccer. And the message I would give you, just keep enjoying doing what you're doing, loving your kids. They love you. And just enjoy life the way that you're doing it. And you have some great friends that think very highly of you, so that's very important. And treat them, all your friends, with respect, and you'll get respect back. That's the most important.
Yeah, respect is a tough one. Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.